Everybody is cook everything different. So please, if I cook something different, don't tell me how to cook my food. And this is my pot. Today, we're gonna make okra soup. You wanna make sure that when you start to heat up your pot, you don't heat it up on full heat, which we ain't trying to burn nothing. We're going to add a little bit of oil here. Just enough oil for us to toast the garlic and the onions, and then we are also going to fry out our okra, which is essentially the star of the show. Just enough. This is about a quarter cup of garlic because I don't want it to overpower the entire pot. So put that in there. I am going to add in our okra. These are a bit drier okras than I would like. And because they're drier, I want them to absorb more of the oil to begin with. And remember, you want to make sure that your heat isn't up too high because you don't want to burn them. The okras are now getting that little bit of extra green. I don't know if that's because like the chlorophyll is being released or whatever, activated. I'm a science nerd, but not that much of a science nerd. We're going to add the third ingredient to the pot, which is going to be our onion. So there we go. And again, we're going to give it a little bit of a turn in here. I'm going to add a little bit of what I think is going to be the only salt I add to the pot for the day. Some of the other ingredients I've already seasoned, so we don't need to add much more salt to the pot. Also going to look at how the onions have sweat. You can see this one here isn't fully translucent, so what you want to do is you want to let it sweat out just a little bit more. But while that's sweating out, we are going to add our bay leaf, and this is about a little over a teaspoon of thyme. Let's put all of that in here, and the aromatics is what gives the room the scent, like there's love happening in here, okay? So we're gonna do that. So from here, I'm now going to add the peppers, one large bell pepper. We're gonna let those sweat as well. And this is gonna form the base of our soup right here. You should smell this. And the last thing that I'm gonna add to the pot, well for now, happens to be my tomatoes. 7 or 8 minutes to kind of steam a little bit. And we're adding the water to break the tomatoes down just a little bit more. Sometimes people is be picky. We have quite a few people that have different dietary needs. Normally when I make this recipe, I tend to fry out some salt beef or fry out some salt pork in the vegetable oil, then add the okras, then add the onions. But the way that I'm cooking it today is gonna allow for us to create a vegetarian meal. And later on, I'm gonna be adding like what I like, which would be the salt beef and the conch and the crab. Here's the other thing. My dad does not eat crab, but he'll eat ham if you put it in soup. When we're finished with the vegetables, I am going to put the conch in and take out a portion for my friend who does not eat anything besides seafood and land crabs, which is strange.
Hey there, it's me, the editor. She's talking about me. I feel attacked. Just thought I'd insert that there.
What is happening is I'm just very, very cognizant of the dietary needs of my very close friends, because this pot right here, ouch, is made with love. That's what you want to see, okay? This is what you want in terms of the base of your soup. You also don't want to overcook the vegetables because really and truly you still want the nutrients, but you also want the flavor. So guys, here we go. This is what our, stay there. This is what our soup base looks like right now. There is quite a bit of steam, but also quite a bit of water as the tomatoes release and the onions release. And then if you look at the okra, you can see it went from bright green to like this olivey, ochre green kind of look. That's what you want. I can put y'all up on some game right now. The order that you add the vegetables in is very important. If you want a thicker soup, here's what you do. You add your pumpkin first, and that is going to help thicken your soup. And I'm also going to add the sweet potato. I'm going to take another cup of water because they're going to absorb all of the water out of the pot. You don't want it to dry out. So far we've added 4 cups of water. You need it to continue to boil. You need this to soften and you need this to thicken before we add anything else. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to dump a whole lot of stuff inside here. So we're talking about a cup of chopped carrots into the pot. This is about like a small cassava. These are lima beans. Let's say 2 cups of lima beans, 1 full can. Kidney beans, look at this goodness. Ooh, for goodness sake, let me get all this goodness. I know some of y'all in the comments could be like, this is a vegetable soup. Yes, okra is a vegetable. Y'all didn't think Bahamian food could be healthy, eh? Another set of water. So this was 2 cups. We're gonna put another 2 cups of water inside the pot. This is about 6 mini ears of corn in here as well. And into the pot it goes. What I tend to do is I tend to let it come to a complete boil so I can taste what the flavors are like, because tasting it just when you add stuff to it makes no sense. So let it come to another boil and then we're gonna get there. Okay, and here we go. It's been about 8 minutes with the stove on high heat. So here we can see these big pieces of corn. To be honest, I don't like to put my hand in my soup and pull something out and bite it, but Bahamians do that. Like, they like to suck on bones and eat cartilage and things like that. Whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you happy, love yourself. But I would have used like whole kernel sweet corn or something to put in here to make it easier. If you have somebody who is a vegetarian or a vegan, you can just take their portion out. But for the rest of us who like things, I'm going to show you the lineup in short order. The people who like conch inside their soup, we're going to add this to the pot and you let that simmer for a little bit. We think that we need all of this oil in our soup, but the truth of the matter is it's soup. It's going to be wet, it's going to be juicy. I'm trying to get this layer of oil off of the top of my turkey pieces. Because I use the turkey wings, they tend to have more fat. So you want to skim the fat off of the top of the ham the same way you did with the turkey. I know some of y'all saying, girl, what you doing with all that good fat? I'm taking it out. This is my second little pot. The reason why I have my second little pot is because I have a friend, like I said earlier, who does not eat ham. He doesn't eat turkey. He doesn't eat salt beef, you know, but he eats crab. So here's what you're going to do. But for everybody else, here's what we're going to do now. This is salt beef. I don't know what it is about salt beef, but it makes everything taste good. And you're going to add that to your pot. 1.5 pounds of ham. Yes, Mom. And now we have right here our turkey. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to, oops, oh no, add it to the pot. But now you can look at this. Look at all of the love in this pot. And we ain't even finished yet. Be sure to get to the bottom of the pot, because if you don't get to the bottom of the pot, what's going to happen is your pot is going to singe. We're going to add another 2 cups of water to it. And we're going to give it another 6 or 7 minutes to come to a complete boil. We are back and it is now time to look at the goodness. So you got to dig deep to the bottom of the pot. Look at this. Look at that. You see that? That's what you want. Okay? I'm also going to fish this bay leaf out because it's been in there long enough. It's not necessary that we keep the bay leaf in there. And I'm also going to take out the bowl of soup that is for my father, who does not eat crab, because the crab is the last thing that we're going to be adding to this pot. So here we go. So for everybody else in the house that is not allergic to and whom eat crab, we are going to add the crab pieces to the pot. Okay? The thing is, I don't want anybody to think that when you go for your crab and thing, you're supposed to leave your crab legs and your biters with the woman or the man you get the crab from. Please carry all your biters home. Carry all your legs home. Okay guys, so our crab has been in for about 5 minutes. You don't want to overcook the crab because it's supposed to be nice and tender. If your crab is grainy while you're eating it, you've overcooked it. It's not pleasant. Nobody wants to eat anything that's not supposed to be grainy and it has a grainy texture. And if you look at it, you're going to see that the body is no longer translucent. It is nice and opaque. Yes, because it needs to be opaque. I have some brown rice that I made in my rice cooker. The trick to this is you add 2 parts water to 1 part rice. And I'm going to take this little piece of conch right off the top because I found it. I'm going to take, I actually don't want a whole lot of crab right now, so we're going to take this piece of salt beef. Yep, that crab. Y'all, I can't take up food, so I hate to be the one to tell you. Drop you right at the top there. And here we go. Now, let me be honest with y'all. I can cook it, but you have to take up your own plate. Got bits of everything inside here. The pumpkin, the corn, the cassava, the kidney beans, the lima beans. Y'all know what it is. This is Bodine pot. Thank you guys so much. And ladies, don't forget, you don't want any and everybody digging up in your pot. That's it.
Why?